Are house prices too high, and is university the only way to success? I'm Max, and this is the EB Podcast. So, to start off, May said today she expects Boris to stay in cabinet. She said that yesterday. It's most likely all talk. I don't trust anyone from the party at the moment, or any party in fact. Hopefully she's telling the truth. She did of course meet today with Boris. There was a 2.5 hour cabinet meeting. They were discussing the Brexit speech that the PM is going to make tomorrow in Florence. Boris attended that meeting. He was smile. There was a smile for the cameras from him. He looked in good spirits as well. May have had a word in about the Brexit bill. He may have talked about it. He may have pushed his agenda slightly. We will see the outcome of that on Friday. There are rumours that the PM will offer a 20 billion exit payment to the EU, which I think should at least be lowered. Maybe that was just leaked from the cabinet meeting, or maybe it was just speculation. Okay, there's more news now. Trump is continuing to talk tough on North Korea. He signed an executive order to impose more sanctions on North Korea, including conducting the US Treasury to focus mostly on businesses that do business with North Korea. Now, this is good. Kim Jong-un has so far ignored basically any sanctions we put on him or strong words we say to him. So we have to look at new ways to tackle the issue. If that includes economic warfare, which we're very good at and we're in a position to do, as we're economic superpowers ourselves, as we are seeing here, then that is great. There will be more of the fallout from that over the next couple of days. I'll probably discuss that on the Sunday podcast. But moving on, there was a big fuss last night and today to do with university. Some universities have been seeing dropout rates of up to 65%. Some examples are 67% of students dropped out of a human resources management course at Middlesex University, and 28.5% left a business management degree there. At Sunderland University, 33% dropped out of an ICT degree as well, to give you a few figures. Now, there's a simple reason for this. My simple reason is we have a big social problem in this country, because the big way it was pushed earlier on in the decade, people are scared to tell students, to tell their friends, to tell their children that university may not be the right course for them. So they use all kinds of courses and methods and studies that you do to try and scrape a place at a university that they do not want to be at, sometimes in a useless degree or degrees they don't want to do, which means that they are stuck with the debt of university, and they also waste 3 to 6 or more years of their life, which could have been spent elsewhere. They could begin an apprenticeship where, at the end of the 3 or 4 years, some apprenticeships you could have earned the 60,000 or so that students accumulate in debt whilst at university, right? Many unqualified people, I say unqualified, qualified in all kinds of ways, but unqualified in university. There are many unqualified people who have developed a skill through doing an apprenticeship, or experience through getting a job or starting a business instead of going to university. There are many non-uni educated people that make 6 or 7 figures a year by utilizing a skill. That's plumbers, builders, investors, entrepreneurs, and the like. And that is a problem that does need to be addressed in our society. Now, onto a business issue, finally, that I don't think needs as much attention. There are reports today that young people will spend a, quote, quarter of pay on housing. Now, housing is a big issue with any government. It always has been and always will be, most likely, especially this one, especially because we've seen house prices rise so much, although they have fallen recently. I've discussed that a bit. Now, I believe personally that this is only a short-term issue. The government is beginning to bring about more affordable housing after pressure from the public and the opposition, and it means in future the supply of houses will increase. Economics, therefore, means that this will cause house prices to fall, because at the moment you have more buyers than houses, and then in the future you will see that shift slightly towards the opposite. Obviously, I don't think we'll ever get to the point where you have more houses than buyers, because houses take a lot quicker to produce than people do, and houses do take a quite long time to build. There's 7 months on average for the small family home to be built. This will smooth out eventually. So to speak, in the long term, I think the issue will be fine. It does just need to be left to the market at the moment, with some government intervention, building social housing, and make sure people, especially poor people, are off the streets and into houses. And also, after Brexit, we may have a lower number of people to buy those houses, which means that prices will drop further because there'll be more. There'll be a less supply of people. Of course, economics means that means prices will drop. So, in my opinion, it is just a waiting game. So, that's it from me. I'll be back on Sunday where I have my opinion on the PM's Florence speech, as well as North Korea's reaction to new sanctions and any other news the world tries to throw at us. I'm Max, and this is the EB Podcast.